nicely. It's the Drew and Fuse Show. The Drew and Fuse Show. The Drew and Fuse Show. Yeah, they clean up nicely. Yeah.
All right, we are live. We're back. Party on, Wayne. Party on, Garth. You know,
what's up,
new.
punks? Yeah, there is something new.
I am curious, you know, if anybody has realized that our podcast looks or maybe even sounds different in the last couple episodes. I'm curious if anybody's noticed that. We are using a different platform now to record. We're pretty happy with it as well. It's been making things a little easier for us.
Way better.
Way better.
Way better. And what I want to say about it, someone messaged me this the other day. Can't remember what it was referring to, but the gist of it was, what do you think about AI? And I thought, if you're really asking me this question, then you're just behind the times. But this platform that we're using edits this whole fucking podcast with AI, and it's unreal. I can't even believe how good it is. It's
amazing. You know, you still have to put in the work, and you still have to do little tweaks and stuff here and there. So if you're listening to this and thinking, oh, I wanted to start a podcast, now I can do it, you still have to do a lot of work. But it's helpful to us. And I will say, you know, kind of looping it all in is it's because of the Patreon that it's possible, because, you know, we're spending some new money on better features and stuff like that. So if you guys haven't signed up for the Patreon yet, make sure you go check it out. We've been dropping edits from the show that we've been talking about. Drew's put in bathroom breaks. I've put in full-length mixes and the playlists and without any drops. So if you really want to sound like me at a party, I guess you can.
I wanted to also say, with the Patreon, go on there. We're coming up with some. When I was out in Cincinnati, we were coming up with some ideas, and we're brainstorming stuff that we're going to be doing in the future. And we got some edit packs and playlist ideas that are coming up. So if you have something that you're really curious about or you really want a deep dive into, just let us know over there. And
right.
That's something we're going to be adding to.
And we check, both Drew and I check and look at every comment that happens on YouTube, that happens within the Patreon itself, that goes to Instagram. We look and see everything. Even though sometimes we don't always respond, we see it all. So, you know, anything we appreciate, any feedback with that kind of stuff.
Also, we have a sponsor today, Direct Music Service, and you could go there and sign up. And that is 20% discount your first month. Is that right?
30%.
Forget that.
Even more.
30%.
30% off your first month using the promo code.
More without just by me screwing up.
Yeah. Promo code Drew and Fuse Show. Direct Music Service, 30% off your first month.
I wanted to touch on something with AI that you just kind of glazed over a little bit. Is you said with the AI, you still have to do some work, right? And I think that's AI in general. I agree. It's there as an amazing tool, but you still got to do the work. I mean, if you guys didn't hear some of the ChatGPT episodes we did, it's still just lacking. You know, it's not totally there. You have to really prompt it and just deep dive into getting it to give you what you want. But the tool is awesome. I mean, it's like back in my days, we used to have the Encyclopedia Britannicas.
Yeah.
This is like the whole edition, you know?
It's awesome. I'm not a very good writer. I like to write. I like to tell stories, but I'm not a very good writer. So I feel like ChatGPT has been a great tool for me, because I write something and then I tell ChatGPT, okay, correct this, you know, or condense it, whatever. So it's a great tool for that, among other things, you know, just generating ideas, being able to be like, what about this idea? Or are there any ideas similar to this? I love, it's just like having somebody to conversate with. And if you use it in that way, it's a great tool.
Well, I'm going to derail this as I like to do, but I'm going to jump around. And so since we're talking about AI, I've been doing a lot of deep dives into 2 new programs, and AI is involved in these to an extent, right? So I spent a ton of time on the DJAY app yesterday, and learning how to use the DJ app. And that's kind of my goal moving forward. I feel like I love Serato. I've always loved Serato. I'm still working with Serato, but the DJ app is just actually trying new things. It's pushing the boundaries, and it's incorporating AI. Something that I like that it does is one of the first features that I noticed. I just kind of wanted to talk about it because I was goofing off with it yesterday, but I could load a song and it has a whole match feature, and it pulls up all the songs that you could play that are in the same key or around the same tempo or like tagged the same. And I mean, I'm not necessarily going to use it all the time, but just fucking with it yesterday, I found like 3 or 4 tracks. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about that one, because it wasn't just buried in a crate that I live in, you know, when I'm DJing. It was like, oh shit, like there's that file over there. Let me try that out, you know?
Right. I'm curious though, like, you know, with Serato having been out so long, if it's only a matter of time before we see some of those same features within Serato, you know?
Here's another thing that I want to say that we've all been asking Serato to do, and I think they're so far behind, but I was able to click on a track and see all of the crates that I have it in. I mean, come on, we've been begging for that for fucking ever. So I could be like, oh, I forgot about that. I save a lot of crates, right? So I might do a party. For instance, I did this big corporate party that I planned way too much for. It was like a very custom one, and I saved that crate. Well, over time, it's been kind of buried inside, you know, these other ones, and I can always get to it, but it'd be nice to be able to just search it. Well, you know, this kind of makes it a little bit more easier to get to stuff. And the AI for their stems, I just think sounds better. It also has some crazy like things that you could do with the crossfader on just the crossfader for the AI for the stems to switch over and do different stuff is so good. And it reads all your Serato cue points, all of your Serato crates. And oh, this is what I was going to say with the AI is the sync on it is nuts. So the beat grids, even if it's a transition, the beat grids change with it. It's dope. Dope.
Interesting. I'll have to play around with it. I'm a little more of a hard sell on things. If you guys haven't known by episode 165 here on the podcast, where Drew is typically the one who wants to dive headfirst into anything. And I'm more of the convince me of it. So I am curious to know more. I've seen not only, you know, we've talked about it, but I've seen other people post about it too.
One last thing. I want to tell you one last thing about this. It's really fucking dope. I got all of my stuff on the iPad as well. Okay. And then I was laying in bed practicing mixes last night on the iPad. It was dope, dude.
I don't need to do that.
I know,
I don't want to be in bed on my phone or iPad any more than I already am.
Hear me out with why it's tight is you could do it on your phone, and now you have a solid real life backup without having your laptop.
Yeah, I appreciate that. There are some things that you've mentioned that I think are cool. Being able to mirror, right? Because you're able to mirror your library onto your... How does that work? Where does it store? Does it store on your computer or on the cloud?
In iCloud.
Okay. So do you have to pay? Through. Do you have to pay for a storage thing?
So with iCloud storage, it's the same thing, I want to say, as that's just part of it. I'm not paying extra. You do have to pay for the year, but here's the loophole while anybody looking for it. If you pay on, shout out to Steve Wonder who just sent me this, but it was $50 on the Mac and then $30 if you do it on the phone or on the website for the year.
Interesting. Okay.
And so then it connects that way.
I wish Serato. So with this being said, if I could have Serato to have one thing that I've really wanted, and there's tons of DJ ideas of what Serato needs. Serato needs a partnership with a storage program, like a Dropbox or even iCloud. And as a part of that partnership, you link your account and it auto backs it up. That's what Serato actually needs. So can we clip this and post it? And then everybody should comment yes on it, because hopefully Serato will then do that.
Well, you know, I have my whole workaround class that I've made. That's
I know.
basically the identical thing. And
but
if you want that, I should just put that on. I'm going to put that on the Patreon. I'm going to put that whole episode.
You know what? That's a
whole thing on the Patreon.
Great idea. But wouldn't it be better if you could just hit a button within Serato and it already did that? I mean, wouldn't it be better?
Of course, obviously. But
okay.
I am gonna upload that now to the Patreon, because if you haven't seen that, you need to spend some time on how to do your proper backup.
Yes, backing up files. Just pause this podcast right now and go back your shit up. Do yourself a favor.
Yeah. Okay, so now we can get into DJ Studio.
Right.
Talking
So
about
we
more
both-
about AI.
We both bought DJ Studio. I've seen tons of videos from other DJs using DJ Studio. I have some thoughts on it as somebody who spent maybe an hour within it. Okay, I know an hour is not a lot of time. I don't have a lot of time, especially when I'm already doing stuff in a DAW that I already know very well. Okay, that's what I want to make sure that's known. I already know a DAW very well, and that DAW
Ableton.
being Ableton. So, and we've had other producers on, and we've always preached this: do what is best for you and what works best for you. It's like the whole, well, what camera do I want to use? Well, use the one that you have, because if you're not using it, it doesn't matter. But with that being said, is I like the idea of DJ Studio. I don't think I have spent enough time in it yet, so I'll say that. But with the time that I have spent, I don't know if I'm really going to save myself any time. I can already do stuff pretty quickly in Ableton. There are features that I like of DJ Studio, but I personally just don't know if I'm going to continue to spend the time to learn that just yet.
So this coincides with the DJ app, which is why we're talking about both these. But I spent all day yesterday redoing all of the shortcuts cues, because their shortcut cues, when you use Ableton or use any program, the shortcuts is why you're good at it, the why you like it, why you're comfortable with it, because you're fast on it. So I spent all the time changing all the shortcuts, customizing all the shortcuts to Serato shortcuts. So now, like in DJ, I'm so much faster on it. That's what I need to do in Studio, because that's where I struggle with it. Is I just like, why can't I do this? I do this in the other program, but the idea of Studio having the built-in stems so I don't have to export it, re-import it, and do all the things is dope. And I would like to be able to do, wedding cocktail playlists that are a little bit more mixed. Now, with that as well, I've been just goofing off so much with DJ that with the auto mix, you can set the mix in and mix out points. And so if you're just doing a cocktail playlist with 12 songs and you could set that, bro.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And that works with Apple Music too. So you don't even need Spotify. It's unreal what I think this program can do. So
one more thing for me to pay for. One more thing. Well, I also want to reiterate that I'm not like afraid of learning new things, because I was pretty proficient in Photoshop and still am, but I pretty much use Canva now for everything. And I didn't think when Canva came out that would be the case. And now I use Canva over Photoshop for like every single thing. And the idea with Canva, this podcast should be sponsored by Canva right now too. So Canva, toss your boys some cheese. The idea with Canva is there's great templates already within it. And there are so many. All you have to do is a little bit of searching to like make sure you're not using the same ones everybody else is, and or just be a little creative and change them up. But it's a great program.
Hey, look, this is exactly what you're saying about DJ for me is Photoshop. Great. It's amazing. Serato, aka Photoshop Serato. It's the equals, right? It's the same thing. It's the industry standard. It's what, if you're good, you're good. You know what's up. But there's this little guy creeping up the back that's just making it look bad, And I need all the bells and whistles and all the features, but it's kind of cool if I could implement it and be that auto mix idea for cocktails is kind of a game changer for me. I put an old iPhone or an old iPad, and I could have the whole playlist all start and finish of whatever I'm going to do, and I put it on and it's done. It's unreal.
I like that. I like that idea. I think that's cool. I'm still not completely sold.
I'm gonna do all the legwork on it, and then I'm gonna show you.
And then I'm gonna get us a sponsorship. when I'm out there, hopefully I'll be sold then.
I'm gonna be using it before then. Before then, I'm gonna be pretty. I'm attempting to go all in on it. By this week, I expect to use it at least once.
He's gonna be like, "God damn it, my computer crashed. You gotta play." I'm kidding.
I'll have two computers ready to go when I'm doing crazy tests like this. But yes, I think it's the future here. I'm just saying it out loud.
If anybody can test it out efficiently, it could be you, because you have like 8 laptops at this point. So
I have 3, and that's why I want to be able to use my phone as a backup. How tight is that, dude?
My name's Drew, and I need to buy a new laptop today.
I don't buy anything else for myself. I just buy laptops.
Except for your daughter, who gets the Chromebook for $150.
Hey, but dude, one that Chromebook got her really far. And then I gave her my old M1. And where did I find it? In a fucking bag, flopping out of the bag, like on the floor, upside down. And I'm like, yeah, it's so tight. Yeah, you don't deserve shit, you know?
The Chromebook story with Fiona might be my favorite thing that's happened live while I've been at your house. She was like, Dad, I need a new laptop. And you're like, guess what, honey? I bought you a new laptop. And she was stoked thinking it was about to be a MacBook, and it was the Chromebook.
You know, she actually ended up telling me that was the best thing I bought for her, because at school they only use, you know, Excel and all the stuff.
Right.
And it kept her focused at school, and also she didn't give a fuck about it, you know? And
Right.
so it ended up being, you know, every kid thinks they know more than they do.
Sure. I still think I know more than I
even
do.
my kid. So there's a bunch of new programs that we're all fucking with, and you know, I hope to be proficient in it, and I really do. If I do get it going, I'm gonna reach out and try and get sponsored, because I'll spokesperson the shit out of this app. There's already a few bugs I've caught in that DJ app where I'm like, this doesn't make sense. You know why?
Right.
Like, for instance, you can do different deck modes. There's one is a one deck. Okay, so I redid all my cue points. Well, when you go to one deck mode, it uses the second deck, not the first deck.
Okay.
Why would it use the second deck shortcuts? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So it was just pissing me off, because now it's all fucked up.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that's dumb, actually. But unless they have a good reason that, you know, they'll come on and tell us all, but, you know.
Well, we're reaching out. If anybody knows somebody from DJ, then send them over, because I'm willing to be a guinea pig here and vouch for the app. I think it's dope.
It needs true working, like any app needs like real working DJs that champion it. You know, something new, it always has to have somebody that's like really out there using it, not just like a product demo guy that's like, hey, I'm in my studio in my bedroom for 15 minutes showing you how to do this on YouTube. No, not like hating on those guys either. I'm just saying that needs to be.
By the way, the funny thing about that is I did go on YouTube looking for the guy, and there's one guy. Shout out to Justin Spiegel. He does 8,000 videos on the DJ app, and he's well versed in it. He spent too much time on it, but he had a couple little pointers that I was like, oh shit, like beat jump. I couldn't find beat jump, and you know, it's like buried in this little thing.
Any videos of him playing a 4 or 5 hour set out at a venue on it the entire time?
I'm pretty sure he's a bedroom DJ, but he at least knows the software. That's all I need to know. So,
well,
I'm okay
that is
with
helpful. That is helpful too.
Yeah.
But I want to put it to the test, and I want it to be 95 degrees outside on your computer, and I want you to have 3 other things open in the background and tell me, you know,
Laid Back Luke using it with an iPhone is still crazy to me. So
yeah, but Laid Back Luke also thought it would be a good idea to go all in on Denon and use that all the time too, and we all know that that's not a good idea.
Shots fired. Shots fired on the Denon.
All right. So with that being said,
wait, but that's like all my people that love Rain. It's the same thing. Like, if you travel at all, you're not going to be able to pick up a Rain controller. Rarely, you know, you're most likely going to have to switch over
or travel with
Pioneer. Yeah, or travel with it. But you know, at that point, you might as well go Denon.
Yeah, I mean, dang, the Denon, dude, we'll never have a Denon sponsorship because of this episode now. Denon in like 5 years is going to be like the hot new product, and we're going to be like, AI is going to be like, hey, Denon, you can't sponsor them because in this one episode,
it's going to get all dragged back up. But one of my first CDJ rack mount things when I was on turntables, but you needed to have like, you know, if you're doing weddings at that time, you had to have. It was before Serato, and Denon was one of the first little CDJ rack mount controllers I had.
It's just
they were the top.
The equivalent of like Laid Back Luke using Denon is like, you know, showing up to a race against Ferraris and Lambos with like a Toyota Tercel. Like, you're just like, what are you doing, bro? Like,
yeah,
it's not even a competition at this point, you know?
And this is the last thing I'll say before we move on. The reason why I already love DJ is they've already thought about this, and I was able to get all of my Serato stuff in with 0 other softwares. I just open it up, hit transfer crates, it was in there. Done. All my cue points, everything, all dialed in.
That's nice.
And if I try to go to Record Box, I got to get some third-party software and switch it all over, you know? So it's already hitting a lot of boxes for me.
I need to say this. Can you DJ a whole night on a piece of denim gear? Yes. Do I want to? No.
It's the same thing with Rain. Can you? I mean, I guess.
Sure. At one point, I used to love Rain. I just don't particularly love it anymore.
Well, it's owned by Denon. It's the same thing in music. It's the same company.
Well, I don't even think I knew that, but
yeah, In Music bought them out, and so that's why I don't know, one of the NAMs. You weren't there, but yeah, we went to the private testing room, and it was like Denon and Rain, and they had all the same gear. So
I mean, I owned a TTM 57, didn't you too? At one point.
Same, and then
we were Rain people at one point.
You can still use the Rain 62 as a doorstop. Like if you really need something, you could throw it on the ground, and it's great as like to hold the door open, or like you
got a stack of cardboard you don't want to blow away. You throw it on top of it.
If you need anything like that, it's like a rock. It's great for just setting stuff on.
We're gonna get some comments on this one. I have a feeling, but that's fine.
Bring on the Rain 62 comments, because that thing is the biggest steaming pile of shit that I've ever used in my life. Fuck that mixer.
I would agree. It is not a good mixer.
No. Piece of shit.
Coming from me, and this is a hot take too, I still love the Cadillac of mixers, which is like the 900 or whatever the newest version of the 900 is. I mean, I do miss the pads, but the workflow ability like in a nightclub of the 900 with like the bigger layout and more room, I just think it's better. But I've used it all the time too, so there's personal preference there.
Yeah.
But let's see. What did you do this weekend? What'd you have going on?
I had a wedding this weekend, and I wanted to talk about my wedding, actually. Dealing with coordinators and guitarists. Now, this is, it was in a backyard, very high end. I mean, baller. But they plexiglassed the whole pool, and that was the dance floor. So, it was a couple bucks there, and it was dope. It was beautiful wedding. I got a couple takes on this wedding. For one, I'll start here. It was a friend of another bride that I had done her wedding, and they were at the wedding, and it was an awesome wedding. Killed that wedding. And that couple referred me, and so the bride booked me. Well, they just had different tastes in music, right? She liked me, but she still was like picking out a bunch of the one-off songs that she remembered for whatever reason,
Right.
And she's like, I don't want this and that. Fine, all good. But it's all the same group of friends that all like the same shit,
Right.
And even that bride from that other wedding was there, and they're raging the whole time.
I want to be different, but we're all gonna wear the same jean jacket.
It was wild, but she was like, it was funny. She was like, oh, I don't know if the groom is gonna dance. He's not much of a dancer. Let me tell you, that motherfucker was out there raging the whole time, and even him and all of his boys just were partying. They did the Thunderstruck. For about the Thunderstruck?
Yeah, you take a drink every time they say thunder.
Yeah. Now, are you supposed to play the whole 4 minutes of this?
Yeah, did you?
Well, the groom gave me the thumbs up at like the 3-minute mark, so I was like, "Fuck it," I got out of it and then everybody was sad.
Then you started it over. That's what it meant.
No, but then the guys got sad. But I'm like, you guys are. This is like song 6. Like he was so excited about it, and I'm like, dude, you're cannibalizing the old people are going to leave. It's just, it's getting weird at this point.
Right.
So I was just like, I got to get out of this. Even though I understand it was what it was, I just had to get out of it. But yeah, dance floor is raging. I was walking the line. The playlist was country to Spanish to rock with disco and hard and a lot of hip hop. But they didn't want too much of the big pop stuff. But yeah, all over the place. So I was trying my best and just trying to keep all her requests in. Yeah, it went good. So I don't remember like the big songs, but yeah, it was a good night. Lachona like worked alongside Man, I Feel Like a Woman.
Shoo.
Yeah, it was definitely all over the board.
I mean, a plexiglassed pool dance floor sounds pretty cool. I mean, it
Let me see
sounds
if I pull
cool.
this. All right. So yeah, a little bit of country, Sweet Home Alabama, Save a Horse, Footloose, went into some oldies. The down south hip hop always works. A lot of the
What do you consider down south? This is the old this is the interesting conversation because
2010s down south.
Down south. Well, tell me, hit me with
I guess
one.
I shouldn't say down south. I consider it south. Yeah, Ti.
Whatever you like.
Laffy Taffies, Laffy Taffy.
Laffy Taffy.
Lean with it, rock with it.
Young Jock, it's going down.
Going down. You got swag surfing.
We're on the same page. I just have heard other people say it, and I'm like, what? And because then they'll say a song, and I'm like, that's not where my head went. But like
Afro Man, dude, Palmdale, huge. Like I didn't.
Palmdale.
The groom came. Yeah, the groom came up and was like Palmdale, and I'm like,
that's
word.
Like wouldn't be one that would come to mind in terms of like if you said to play Afro Man, where my head would go.
I downloaded it on the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was all over the place. But
well, maybe we'll put a few of those kinds of edits that you mentioned in the Patreon this week.
Yeah.
And my week.
I wanted to touch on this. There's two things I wanted to say. So dealing with his wedding coordinator was all over the place. Okay. We're dealing with a guitarist. So guitarists and bands are the worst. They're on the time schedule of a gnat. It's like 7:45. It said this is what time I was going to stop, even though I haven't done my full 2 hours. On the timeline, it says 7:45. And so this guitarist, the coordinator, changes everything around last minute, puts the dad's speech at the beginning when the guitarist is on the clock, and the dad goes for fucking 25, 30 minutes, and everybody's dying. But he's like, I paid for this, so you're going to listen. And then the guitarist goes on for like the 20 minutes he has left, and he's like, all right, DJ, your turn. And I'm telling the coordinator I need to eat, and not getting me my food. And then she's like, can't you just step aside while you're DJing? I'm like, does that make sense to you? The dance floor is going. Am I just going to go take a break? How long have you been doing this for? How fucking brand new are you?
Yeah. Not to mention, it's like the worst look ever to be like standing at an event that you're getting paid to work at, and you're like standing there eating. You're like, what am I Brad Pitt? What the fuck is going on?
I guess my only rant, or the thing that I really want to say about this, is how do we get guitarist rights, right? How do DJs get guitarist rights? This guitarist was like, it says 7:45. I know things changed, but I don't give a fuck. I'm now done, How do we get that right?
What the fuck was his deal? Like,
I'll give him props on that. He came with all of his own stuff, and he actually had all of his own chords. Shocking. Shocked. That I didn't get asked for one thing. So I was okay with that. But nonetheless, how do they get these rights? What is it?
In the defense of the guitar players, I do feel like a lot of times the people that get roped into doing that kind of thing at a wedding are like friends of somebody, and then that's how they got roped into even doing it. Very rarely do they hire like a professional musician that's whole job is like, I do this for a living. It's like a friend.
This guy what? This
That's
guy was
good.
on it. He was really good. He was really good. Like, props to him on everything other than just ending on the dime and not letting me finish my food.
He had another gig.
5 more minutes to do.
He had another gig. He had the late night, at the House of Blues. He had to go.
And I don't care about burning, right? I asked him if I was going to burn him on any songs, but he's during dinner playing acoustic guitar, September, I want to dance with somebody. I mean, just burning through like, the opening ish set, whether you guys think it's played out or whatever, it doesn't matter what you think. This is what was on the bride's thing. And then you're just burning through the songs that I'm going to have to replay. And I feel like you have free fucking reign to do whatever the fuck you want. You're just playing acoustic. Just keep it familiar.
Yeah. Could have hit you with some Tom Petty or, did you a favor, a little free falling or something,
So all the musicians that are out here listening, step up your game.
Boy, because I was booked to play the hits. I played the hits. Maybe, she gave him the same list that she gave to you.
Dude, the ego of the musician is just like looks down on the DJ, and then they're out of there so fast. They don't even hear what's going on. But anyways, musicians.
Where's
my wedding?
DJs.
How was yours?
My weekend was pretty normal. Had a Reds game on Friday, worked the Reds game, went to Fishbowl, had a pretty good night at Fishbowl. Saturday, Miss Ninja was in town. We've had her on the podcast before. She's from LA, out by you. If you guys are
Yeah, shout out
listening
Miss
and you
Ninja.
haven't listened through some of the, older episodes, we've had her on. She is the DJ, one of the DJs. They have two that set up at the same time because they're both kind of doing different things. And she's one of the DJs for the Big Three, and the Big Three is Ice Cube's basketball league. It's been around for a couple years now. They've got some really big sponsors, and it's actually really cool. It's 3-versus-3 basketball. They play to 50. Whoever gets to 50 first wins the game. There was a lot of like big name basketball players there here in Cincy, even like Dwight Howard was there, and there was a few other ones like real basketball players, not like, it's not like Harlem Globetrotters where it's like, oh, guys that are specialized that never played like NBA or whatever. Not that I'm knocking on those guys either. I'm just saying these guys are all like, top athletes. And now they're playing in Big Three, and it's really cool. They have music going the whole time. It's like a party in there, and they have dancers. Dancers are tossing out shirts. So she got me tickets to that, and I got to go watch her play. I hung around for like maybe a little over an hour. Or, I watched one whole full game, and then I watched the warm-ups for the next team, which was the last game of the day. And then I went out. I got out of there. But it was really cool to get to see that. They had a pop-up performance from DJ Paul from 3-6 Mafia. He did like 4 songs, like between the game. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Ice Cube was like sitting right there, like 20 feet away from me, and that was just crazy.
So
They
this
like,
is kind of similar to the Savannah Bananas, where they're just doing something different with the sport. It's still a
yes, but
sport,
not at the same time, because it's like still basketball driven, whereas like the Bananas are like more of like the Harlem Globetrotters, where it's
Right.
like there's other shit going on inside of a basketball game, whereas like
Right.
this is still a basketball game with other shit going on around it,
It's 3-on-3.
3-versus-3. And the
Okay.
only like real gimmicky thing, and it's not even really that gimmicky, is they put up these 3 or 4 spots on the court that are further back from the 3-point line that are 4-point shots too. And I did see one player hit a 4-point shot while I was there. So it was
Nice.
cool. But yeah, it was neat. And they set up, it's just like essentially a half court, and then they put the floor around it, and it's on like CBS, it's on Vice, like different games are on different channels, and like Monster Energy drink is a big sponsor, and Snickers is a big sponsor, and
What kind of stuff is she DJing?
like during the game, like gameplay, like
Yeah,
and it's
just
like,
anything goes. Like she's just reading the crowd and going with it, or you think they have like
I feel
certain
like
hype songs?
I didn't
they
really
need to do?
ask her that, and I don't want to speak for her, but it was a lot of like what you would think. It was like hip hop and like some EDM and like different moments that made sense for it, So it was good. It was cool. I enjoyed it. I went into it like, I don't know what to think about this, but I'm gonna go. And it was really neat. And then she came out Saturday night where I played at the Stretch and hung out for a bit, and we kicked it while I was DJing, and had a good time. And I got her tickets to the Reds game Sunday before she flew out that I worked. So we had a day game, and we played Tampa Bay all weekend, and the Reds swept Tampa Bay. So that was nice. It was like, a nice weekend here at home. I didn't have a wedding or event, but, I played Thursday, Friday, Saturday this weekend, and honestly, I had pretty good nights every night. So I'm not mad
Love it.
about it. Yeah.
I love it. Any big songs? Just talk a little
I was
music.
just-
I have a Patreon pack that I'm gonna drop on here. A bunch of
I was just gonna say,
disco edits.
I feel like the requests are just so like across the board right now. Usually, I feel like at certain spots it used to be like, oh, you would get requests for like I don't know, this is just an example, like Kesha, and because you would get requests for like Kesha, it would be like, oh, Kesha and Katy Perry and like Flo Rida and like really poppy. Well, it's like, well, you get like requests for that now, and then you'll get a request for like Alex Warren, The Ordinary, and then you'll get a request for like,
Are you playing that? Sorry.
I play the DAFS version that I made, or maybe it's not the DAFS version. I don't know. I can't remember which one I'm playing, but we have a DAFS version, and you can find it on Patreon. Or then it's just like the most obscure, like hood sounding hip hop, and I'm like, it's just so bizarre right now. And I feel like the identity. Well, I think partially it's because of DJs and not enough DJs being on the same page at certain venues that cause this like riff and like what the identity of the venue is, you know? And when that's happening, it's hard to be the DJ keeping an identity of a venue. So it's just interesting times right now, you know? Big songs though, I was opening Serato while I was giving that little rant to see if I can go back and through my history. Let's see. Saturday night.
I had a Creed request.
Creed, huh? Wow.
And I made a hook only of Higher that I guess I could put on there if anybody really wants it.
I guess I know we've mentioned this one multiple times, but it went off again Saturday. Is that 679 over top of Hypnotize, the Phrase and Tails blend that's on DMS?
So good.
That one popped off.
Yeah.
The Tommy Marini bootleg that you sent me, that's also on DMS of the Chris Lake Toxic with what is it? Both or
Fetty Wap.
Fetty Wap.
Drake.
Yeah, that one popped off, and that one's
That one
like kind of
kills.
unexpected too. You know, like people don't know what's kind of happened, and then it hits, and they're like, oh, "Shit," you know.
I still I play it back to back. I use the original, and then right when it's gonna go into the last drop, it goes right when the drums are. I cut it into that.
Right. I got a random request for "Wipe Me Down," and I
Wipe
played
Me
it.
Down's been super big right now.
Yeah, I played
That was
it.
it by a down south set.
It went off like more than I thought it would too. Which was
Well, you know the Glorilla.
well, right. But
it's the same song.
right, it's just funny to me, like certain songs how they're like big again or whatever. But I hadn't played that one in a while. I have a quick edit.
So I do weddings down south, right? And that is, it's like a school anthem for like some of those down south things. Like
I'm just
and so
looking at the set list.
It's super
still.
big.
Saturday was pretty normal. Nothing like really stand out. Yeah, but yeah. So I had a good weekend.
My Friday, I did have a couple ones that I was surprised went as big as they did. Let's see here. Eeny Meeny, shockingly big.
That's so weird, but yeah, I've been playing that one too. It's just that song was such a flop in the nightclub bars when it came out.
Oh yeah,
it's just so
terrible.
funny to me. It was like don't be caught playing that.
I brought back Rake It Up.
Rake It Up.
Actually, I'll put it on the Patreon. It's
All right.
It's the Party Favor remix, but I de-dropped it. It just hits, but I took the drops out, and I like that. Brought back Bodak Yellow.
I've been playing that again too.
Yeah, that did really well.
Just the hook is usually all I've played.
Yeah,
but
that's all I play. She has her new one.
Outside. Yeah, that one's good.
Was super big. I just played the original.
I feel like that one, when it first came out a few weeks back, I played it and I was kind of, people like didn't know what to do, but now it's kind of gaining some traction.
Acting Up, the new Tommy Richmond with Sexy Red.
Oh, okay.
That's been doing good. Get a lot of
that
requests
one's been
for
doing
that.
good for you, huh?
Yeah, it's been doing really good actually.
All right.
And I mean, I'm just kind of listing things off the top. No Broke Boys is still one of my bigger songs. Notion, I know a lot of people think it's played out, it's still hitting. Even Steve did a pretty short edit of it that does really well for me. Do you play that?
The Days?
Yeah.
It falls flat for me every single time I play it.
It just must be my spot. It's still the very young TikTok-y crowd. Since You've Been Gone, I haven't played that 5 years, and it just, I was
Since You've Been
like,
Gone, always crushes.
They were looking for sing-alongs, and so it was big.
I have a good edit. I think it might be Burnout that redid it, and I just shortened it, you know? So I have a good edit of that.
Yep. And then, for the Patreon this week, I got a couple Sergeant Slick disco remixes that I chopped up, made
sweet.
Instead of 5 minutes long, I made more of the DP cut of it. So they're all really good.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's gonna be it for today. Once again, to reiterate, if you guys haven't jumped on the Patreon, do that. It's $9.99. You have access to the full DAFS collection on there. And moving forward, we still have exclusives on DMS. The stuff that we can't post on DMS gets posted on the Patreon. There's like some bathroom breaks and full length mixes. And Drew's going to put up that tutorial of how to back up your library on there. And it's really good. You guys will really want to check that out.
I have 2 tutorials. I'll put up both. The other one's Serato settings. And so I'm going to put that one up now because I'm also doing that for DJ. So once I wrap my head around DJ, I'll film a DJ one that I'll put up.
Love it.
Tutorial for that.
And then if you haven't signed up for DMS, use promo code Drew and Fuse Show. Definitely want to get on DMS if you haven't. It's one of the best pools, in my opinion, there is. So
facts, Jack.
That's going to be it for today's episode. Let us know any comments that you guys have. Let us know your opinion on Denon and all of that stuff.
And Rain.
Yeah. But I think that's it. Until next time, we'll see you guys later.
Peace.